Hello everybody, welcome to the round 4 video. This is just comp runs. This is Lone Star Drift Formula D Proam round 4 at Texas Motor Speedway. Go grab yourself a drink, here's mine. Alright, let's get excited and let's watch some drifting. Now first of all, this is a really fun track, it's really fast. The fastest cars at Lone Star Drift at this track are going to be doing about 108 to 112. That's 100 plus miles an hour, and you're actually going super fast mid-track right here where that 350Z is right now. Now this is going to be judged position is where we're looking from right now, and what we're doing is we're looking at line, angle, speed, what mistakes the drivers are taking and everything else. So right here, they're driving down the straight, hopefully it's a clutch kick, but they might e-brake. Then those cones right there in the inside, which he was off of by about 8 feet, are the first inside clip, then the next inside clip, then outside right there, back to outside right there, and then they need to be outside in the sweeper. So you can see he's not far enough outside, so that's a deduction. But the follow car puts down a fantastic lap right there. Good job, Austin. Okay, now the lead car needs to put down a really good, solid lead run on all of his points to give the follow car the best chance at showing off possible. So for your first lap and you're leading, it is your responsibility to do a great lead lap. And then you get to show off in the chase position. Now, if you don't give a good lead lap, you can't expect the chase car to put down a good chase lap, if that makes sense. The lead car must put down a great chase lap, down a really good activated run for the follow car to put down a great follow lap. So what that basically says is you cannot expect the follow driver to have a fantastic lap if the first guy in the lead position doesn't put down a fantastic lead run. Okay, let's get started. First of all, this red car, Patrick, is a automatic V6 G8. So he has his work super cut out for him. And the follow car is Taylor Ray, a super experienced YouTuber with a dry sump V8 Miata, which is a rocket ship in this competition. So Patrick is not going to advance. The Miata is going to advance. He was getting basically brought a butter knife to a gunfight, but he drove that thing really, really well. Impressive that he can drive a V6 car that well with an automatic. All right, this is Shelby in his 2JZ Turbo BMW. You'll notice it has an odd rake to it. It actually, the back is higher than the front. You don't see that very often in a drift car. Normally you would see the car tucking, especially on the throttle. You would see the car tuck in the rear and kind of pogo stick in the front. Not pogo stick, but like stick up. So this is Spencer's S14. You can see it tucks a tiny bit in the rear, and the front end is a little bit higher. Not super exaggerated in that car. That car also in the lead run has a fantastic outside lap right there, or outside line, and it is a KAT. All right, this is a Pro 2, Pro 1 car. Josh Robinson all the way out of Australia, just putting down an amazing lap, being followed by basically a stock 350Z with suspension mods and stuff. It has a sequential 1,000 horsepower. It's a monster. Can't even see both vehicles in the frame. Now he's gonna have a really hard time though following a car that's basically a 300 wheel horsepower 350Z. All right, here we go. He's doing a good job holding the car back. Dives in huge on him. That was a really fast dive, and that was really cool. Brandon has a really nice line there. He could be a little bit farther outside, but that's a pretty good line for that car. This track is pretty tough for stock 350Zs, but they do it somehow. And here's a one more time battle between Spencer and Shelby. Now you'll notice that there was a gap between them. Some other drivers went. It's so that these guys can have some time to cool down their cars, change tires, or do whatever they need to. Oh, Shelby has a big mistake there. Not sure what happened. Looks like something almost bound in the front end of the car, and he just gets passed by Spencer, and Spencer has a huge advantage there. He needs to go pick up that bumper, get it out of the way so it doesn't get run over. Spencer has a great e-brake entry there, right on the line where he's supposed to be on that first inner clip. Now to the outside, beautiful. He's on throttle there the whole time almost, except for the transition. Out to the outside, Spencer has a wonderful line, wonderful angle throughout the track. A great, great lap, and it's really fast and smoky. Oh man, that's gonna make us pick up some cones. That's not ideal. And Austin saves it in the Oops Mobile. That 350Z's seen some great hits in its time, but Austin is a super experienced driver. Avoids the hit, knows he has the advantage. Here we go, he's a little bit off the first inner clip. Can't see this second inner clip because it's gone. Austin has a great lap throughout here. Let's see if we can get to the outside. He's on line, looks great. Follow car is way behind, but he also has zeroed out on his first lap. So that's going to be Austin's advantage, and Austin is going to take it out. All right, here's Robbie. Robbie has a 3,600-pound Camaro. He's a little bit off the first clip, but pretty good line. Lots of throttle and everything there. And the second car is not even in the frame, unfortunately. Robbie's way shallow on the inner, or the sweeper. All right, here we go. Here comes Yokel. Yokel is actually getting to be a really solid driver this year. He's come a long way in his skills. I don't know if he's getting better at the setup of the car, if the car had issues before and now they're getting sorted out, or he's just becoming a much more experienced driver. But this is a very difficult track, and he's making it look really smooth in that car, much more so than we've ever seen him. So great job, Yokel. The white S13 seems to be having some issues of some kind. Now, don't expect that just because they're not throwing down a great lap that they are inexperienced or something like that. Sometimes they just have mechanical problems of some kind. If it's a 4-cylinder car and it's missing a coil pack or something because it broke, they're just going to struggle, and it can be really difficult. All right, here comes some heavy hitters. This is Jack Davis versus John Riggs. John Riggs' car does not look like it has as much grip, pushes a little bit wide there. Both of these cars are over 600 wheel horsepower, super fast cars. The follow car is a big turbo JZ. It's a GTX 3582 or 3584, I forget. And the E36 is a supercharged LS. John goes wide again there. Doesn't have quite as much side bite in his car, it looks like. Jack is just on throttle looking great. He did have some small corrections and everything, but I think he's going to have an advantage through here. You'll see John Riggs' line is too inside. His line is a bit off. All right, now this 350Z here is super stable all the time. Looks fantastic. It is a V8 swapped car, and it is really, really competently built and driven. Great car. And the follow car is a JZ car that looks to be having a lot of problems right now, but it's a completely new build that I don't think we've seen yet this season for more than maybe one event. It's a JZ, big turbo, looks fantastic, and it is Ben Joseph. Now you can see little tiny puffs of smoke when the front tires lock up. You can see that they're using the brakes a bit more aggressively than they need to, but these cars do not have ABS, and because of the way that the things caster jack and do everything, it can be really easy to lock up those brakes, so it's kind of interesting to see those little details. Now this is a full weight, big, naturally aspirated Mustang competing against a V8 swapped Miata on pretty sticky tires. So it's quite a show there. That's really cool to see. The size difference between these two cars is wild. You'll notice Austin in the Mustang is almost not drifting throughout the entry to try and catch up. So he minimizes his angle to try and have as much speed as possible. But the judges can obviously see that, and it is not ideal, but we'd rather the cars be close than you have max angle and just be 20 car lengths behind. This is Jesse Hollywood. He keeps getting better and better in his like 90 degrees of steering angle. Mark III, oh my God, Mark III Supra. Holy cow. Whoa, something just fell off the car. Hopefully that's not super needed. We'll see. Jesse keeps getting better and better and better though. And that Mark III Supra works better than I would have ever thought. It's a fairly simple build, but it has a huge angle kit, and it has around 450 wheel horsepower. Here comes Spencer in his big turbo KA. He does make over 500 foot-pounds of torque, and if you look at our channel, there is a build breakdown on his KA, which is really interesting. Here he has mediocre line throughout the sweeper, but he knows that he has such a large advantage, he's basically just completing his lap without wasting tires. And Jesse's definitely wasting tires there. That thing is a smoke machine. Here's Zach Mitchemore. This is the winner of last year's entire Pro-Am series. He built himself a fun SR car here and has just been jamming around in it. He gets way more seat time in that. Whoa, Robbie is off in the dirt mowing the lawn. Zach in that S13 has just been getting better and better and better. It's basically a seat time car, and it does have problems and everything, but he's not so serious about winning the series this year, so you can just see his like little driver skill meter just like whoop, 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 filling up. He is an amazing driver, but he has been having a bunch of coupler problems that take him out of comp where a coupler's flying off. So Robbie zeroed out his first lap, and it looks like Zach zeroed out his second lap, so we might see a whole nother lap. All right, they're gonna go fix their cars real quickly, and now we have JR in his 450 wheel horsepower SR20 car with a GTX Garrick turbo. It is super reliable, always on track. It had one rocker arm issue in the last couple of years that I know of, and other than that, it's been fantastic. Versus Austin in that V8 350Z. Austin's car is such a tank, though. I've never really even seen that thing break that I can think of. That's one nice thing about 350Zs is they're just battering rams and super reliable most of the time. JR's car does look rad, though. Oh, here's your Kelligan versus Fielding Shredder. Fielding Shredder is famous right now off of his Netflix appearance on Hyperdrive. His Instagram's been blowing up. He just picked up like 30,000 in subs in the past like 3 days. It's amazing. And you can see he's just such a hard charger, so experienced. So we missed a lap there somewhere in editing. Sorry about that. I'm gonna be quiet for a second. All right, I can't be quiet that long. Here comes Zach again with a fixed coupler versus Robbie in the Camaro. Now these cars are almost 1,000 pounds apart, and they're on basically the same tires. So that S13 is gonna have a bit of a weight and also power to weight ratio and horsepower advantage and all that stuff. So Robbie really has his work cut out for him. Robbie's car is really interesting too. It's a 4.8 liter truck motor V8, like LS1 based, whatever those things are called, but punched out to I think 5.1 or 5.2 liters. Really interesting though. Zach is super aggressive here. Robbie's having some issues of some kind. Great lap, guys. Oh, heavy headers again. This is Jonathan Torres blowing off track. Holy cow, he is covering ground fast when you don't have to go through the turn. Man, when you just straighten out the track, that thing is fast. That is a supercharged V8 crazy S13 that has recently been featured on our channel with 2 radiators versus Jack Davis in that crazy E36 BMW. Jack is a rocket ship. Oh, Jonathan Torres has some other type of hiccup there. Jonathan Torres' car is so dang fast. It's easy to see faults with drivers when you're just watching video like this, but you're going 100 miles an hour in a supercharged, really fast car that you want to keep nice, and it is gotta be just like mentally tough on this track going so fast and, you know, making mistakes like that. He had closing distance and bailed out at the last second and bailed a little bit too hard. And this is Ben Hobson's car, arguably a Pro 1 car and Pro 3, which is what we call Pro-Am for fun. That car is on super huge sticky tires, the purple car, and is insanely fast out here. It is wise fab front and rear, I think, supercharged rear mount radiator, dog box, quick change rear end, all the things you can buy for a car. And then with the power, it is just crazy to watch. It was going literally 20 miles an hour faster than any car out there. It might have been clocking about 110 to 115. And Michael is always a great show. Michael's Turbo BMW is just a complete riot to watch. He practices in the Assetto Corsa all the time, like literally every single day, and is a machine in that car. He is so, so good. Great clipping point there for both those guys. Michael's falling back a little bit, but catches up huge right there. Michael's cutting his line by at least 8 feet. Taylor has a great line throughout the sweeper. Could be a few more feet outside, but we're not knocking that. That was a great run. And here comes Nick Novak, just getting huge sketchy. Dang. The judges actually couldn't even hardly watch that because we're getting pelted by rocks.
Not to dip off in the rocks.
Here we go again. Spencer versus now this BMW is sequential transmission, 600 horsepower plus S54 turbo, everything you can throw at it, and it is a monster. Look at the way it catches up right there. He's actually holding the car back and then pulls up at any point he wants. Here is Taylor versus Michael Van Schellenbeck again. Michael has a beautiful entry. Great transition by both guys at about the same time. Taylor's got to catch up here. Taylor, oh, will he? Yep, he gets in there. Now you can see Taylor was left foot braking a lot, meaning Taylor's car is probably a little bit faster than Michael's in drift right there. All right, let's see here. This is all down to this transition right there. Michael has a beautiful transition, tucks in. Great, great, great lap right there. And Michael is in there. That is beautiful. Such a good lap right there from Michael. Now Michael's gonna inch forward, get close. Man, I love seeing the size difference between those cars. All right, this is one of our Pro 2 drivers, Rudy Martinez from Texas Tires and Parts in his JZ S13 Garrett Turbo, like super rocket ship. Followed by Zach. Zach straightens up a tiny bit on his transition, cuts his line quite a bit to try and zip in there. He's almost, instead of on his door, all the way up the front tire, but still has about 5 feet between them. All right, let's watch Zach's line. Nice entry, good angle, about 5 feet, 6 feet off the line. He's booking it through there. Great transition by Rudy Martinez, tucks in there. Oh, and then he straightens up a little bit and messes up. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was a misshift. Oh no. All right, they're one more time in it. Nice entry. Great transition by both, well, obviously by the follow driver. Zach has a lot of room to catch up right there. He's not going to be able to catch up and close that all the way. Oh, he does a tiny bit at the end, but not where it really mattered. Just catching up at the end is not as cool as being caught up when you're in the sweeper. Here we go again. Man, Rudy's in there. That's incredibly aggressive. Rudy has a super long e-brake to try and hold the car back and was balancing the car on the front brakes, trying not to hit him. That was beautiful, and not only was it beautiful, it was really aggressive, which is awesome. Oh, Sai's having some battery problems. Sorry, guys. This is a third one more time, I think, but going against... That was a beautiful entry. Beautiful. That was the best transition of the weekend, I think. That was amazing. Michael is in there to win it. Great job, Michael. He has a little bit sloppy at the end of that transition, but all of that was beautiful for the most part. Man, that was so aggressive. That was textbook. All right, look at how fast Ben Hobson's car is through here. He is literally drag racing the other car. That is like 10 to 20 car lengths. That is wild. His line is a mess though. Now it's hard to drive a car this fast sometimes because it's kind of scary, and he's driving in a very reactionary method. It's almost scary to have a car that fast because to get down to the sweeper in that thing feels like you're going 100 miles an hour, you're gonna shoot off the ends, so you've gotta have huge balls to like wait for that transition and get down to that sweeper. So he's basically transitioning early because he's going so fast, and then it makes it hard to get through the sweeper because he has so much grip. So he's kind of dealing with completely different problems of the other drivers. All right, here we go, Spencer versus JR. Spencer has a little bit better entry. JR's transition's a little bit late, which gives him like 5 car lengths between them. Now he's got to try and catch up, which is really difficult. Spencer was really slow in picking up the throttle there into the sweeper, and JR has some type of misshift, I think, and messes up. That sucks to watch. I'm sorry, JR. I don't like to see drivers mess up like that. All right, beautiful entry. Spencer has a better transition than JR did. There's still a bunch of space that we don't want to see between them. Good lap though. Spencer's way off in line. He's cutting the line by quite a bit. Not the biggest problem when you're the follow driver because we expect you sometimes to cut line a little bit. Here is Taylor Ray versus Fielding Shredder. Great entry, perfect transition, great transition. Oh no, Fielding's getting sketchy. That was beautiful. Oh no! That was an awesome lap. I wish Fielding didn't get sketched out on that. Now that's just one of those things where he's passing him while he's transitioning, and you've got to think, do I want to wreck the car? Do I want to win? How bad do I want it? Fielding doesn't want to wreck, so he kind of bailed there. But that was beautiful and so aggressive. Fielding's car is so fast. Great transition by Taylor Ray. That was beautiful. Taylor stutters a little bit, straightens out a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as obviously Fielding's mistake, so I'm going to say Taylor advances on that one. Here we go, really cool battle. This is a 1,000 horsepower car versus a little tiny 2867 Garrett Turbo SR20. Look at this monster thing. He locks on like a tractor beam and just drives that pickup car into him. Now this sport utility vehicle thing is carbon fiber body, carbon fiber doors, like the bed doesn't exist, it's just little carbon fiber panels. It is a quick change rear end, sequential transmission, supercharged V8. It is a monster. It is really cool to watch. Oh, and he goes off. That is a lot of car. He did go 3 off, unfortunately, so I think that was a 0. Wait, I should know these things. All right, here we go. Spencer and his KAT versus the V8 Miata. Great entry. Let's see this transition. Really good transition. It was maybe just a split second late, which caused a gap of about 2 to 3 cars. But Taylor's car is really fast in the sweeper and catches up really, really well. Ooh, that's good. That's fantastic. That is textbook. I like Michael Van Schellenbeck's transitions though a tiny bit better. Oh, let's see Spencer. Spencer transitions really nicely there. It was also kind of snappy, almost too snappy, which means he came out of the throttle a little bit to make it, which slowed him down a little bit. So if he actually would have slowed down that transition, he would have put himself closer to the lead car in the middle of the track. Just a little note. Still a fantastic run. Here's Zach Mitchumore versus Jack Davis. Jack is so aggressive. This is ridiculously aggressive. Look at this. Oh man, this is good. Zach's line is way off. Zach is way shallow on the sweeper, just to let you know. It can be a little difficult to tell line from this angle when you're watching through a camera, but you can take my word for it. Jack is all throttle all the time. It looks amazing. He had a quick e-brake after the transition, and then right on line, the e-brake helped set him up for the outside line really well, so we understand why he did that right there. It was really good.
Sorry. Something called editing.
These two guys are friends. Oh no, Zach screwed up again. I think his coupler blew. Oh man, that is rough. Maybe it was something worse than the coupler since he's out for this lap. Or maybe he'd already called his 5 minutes. Spencer obviously advances. Oh, if you watch that text, it said broken Mitchumore. Sai edited this video for me, and I'm doing all the voiceover since I've been so busy, and he is trolling Zach. Look at that lowrider Ford truck in the background on huge 18-wheeler wheels. All right, I think we're in the finals now. This is for 1 and 2 position. This is Jack Davis versus Taylor Ray. Both of these guys have come from a long way. The first car is from Oklahoma City, I believe, and Taylor Ray is from the bottom of Florida. Taylor's cutting his line by a good 4 or 5 feet. Now he's sucking on his door. Oh, look at that. The little Miata has a cone in his bumper. That means there's going to be some cones missing on the clip next time they drive around. All right, nice entry by both drivers. Jack has a tiny bit of a late transition, but it's still really good. You can tell he's farther back than he had been. Now he dives in, but now he kind of screwed up on that lap. Because he dove in a way he did, I think he misshifted and kind of fumbled it. I think I heard he said he shifted down to first and screwed up. And here is a fun lap by Fielding.
Don't say.
Oh, look at this. His trunk is going to flap. I remember this. Look at the trunk. So the trunk is flapping. That's actually the metal parts of the trunk. It's held down by hood pins up there. And it's so worn out, it's flapping like little tiny Flappy Bird wings. That's hilarious. Fielding's car is a smoke machine, and it has got to be one of the oldest American drifting 240SXs at this point. It went through a bunch of JZ configurations. It was originally a built SR20 way back in the day when he first got it. Oh, I finished my voiceover. Thank you for listening, guys. Here's the end of the comp and the awards ceremony. Thank you so much.
Close my eyes.
No, you leave your glasses on. That's how you not get sprayed.
That's true. That's true. But they got so covered last time, I couldn't see anything.
You need like swimming goggles.
Yeah.
I had a good time. It was probably one of their two. In 4th place, we have Zach Mitchumore. In 3rd place, we have Spencer Mardashlamore. And now in 1st place, we're gonna skip 2nd.
You gotta be ready to smoke this thing. I don't know.
All the way from Florida City. Oh, it was Taylor? Did I screw up? It was Taylor.
One of them.
Harrison, who was it?
Cheers.
Yeah, Taylor, there we go.
Did he say you? I don't know who he said.
I don't know what he said.
I think he said David. I heard Florida.
Jack Davis. I was getting too busy
All
for
right,
this. I'm getting
great
this.
job for everybody.
You just have a coupler. Blew my coupler for like the 4th time.
Back on track, so if you're a registered driver with the correct test and all that stuff,
Give me a high five. Give me a high five.
10 minutes.
Oh yeah, we were taking a photo.
Wait, let me get a photo too.
They don't know that it's not a photo.
Zach, Mitchumore,
He's doing video.
First place loser.
Good job, Taylor.
Crowd. Who is the crowd
You're gonna want to
favorite?
wash that stuff off your car.
I know. I watched it off my
So what happened on the final run? We actually never find out.
Okay, so final run, I just threw it in next to Taylor. Went to downshift because he was going a little bit slower than I was. I didn't want to bog out in fourth gear. Well, third gear happened to be first, and that did not work out.
Oh, okay.
Car squiggled behind him, and that was the end of that.
That sucks. We were hoping to have a good battle. We were like,
I was nervous. I was like, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be very hard.
It was close. I'm surprised I was able to keep up with you.
Yeah.
Your car's quick, it's so small and light.
Yeah.
I was nervous myself, but I seen you. I was like, okay, third gear. Oh.
That's so sad. That's such a lame way. Probably would have been one more time and I would have ran out of tires because I basically ran out of tires.